Welcome to another edition of the Nightly Nuge. I'm not sure who is going to be speaking with us tonight because he appears to be in disguise, much like a U.S. Senator, Pierre Delecto, the U.S. Senator that's so proud of his voting record that he disguises himself in public, got booed off the stage at a recent GOP event in his home state of Utah. Is that you, Pierre, or is it Ted Nugent?
No, it's a real patriot. It's a real constitutionalist. It's a guy who's in the asset column, not to be confused with these Democrats and rhinos who are rock solid in the liability column. What a bunch of spineless little weenies. Really embarrassing for these
Ted,
guys.
you're a U.S. Senator. I mean, and your voting record is public. I mean, I love like Ted Cruz down in your home state when he recently was interviewing Christopher Wray from the FBI. He brought his cowboy boots and put them on the stage, let people know where he stood, had to come and take an emblem on his own boots. But Mitt Romney, the guy who voted to impeach the president, recent in the news this week, goes in disguise everywhere he goes. Because he's afraid of, what's he afraid of? Trump supporters catcalling him.
Well, when you're on the side of the bad guys, which every Democrat is, and I know Joe Manchin has done some good things, but I'm sorry, if you're wearing a sheet on your head and you're going to a Klan rally at a burning cross, you can't tell me you're not a racist.
You know what? I think about celebrities. You know, I did the television show McMillan River Adventures with Shawn Michaels. For 7 years, Sean would go in public and people would recognize him everywhere we went, never wore a disguise. You know, I don't see President Trump in a disguise. I don't see Ted Cruz in a disguise. I don't see Roger Marshall in a disguise. You and I are friends with Chris Kobach. And there are people that, you know, literally despise Chris because he stands for such law and order. He doesn't wear a disguise. I was just with you this past weekend. We went to a restaurant together. People recognized you, of course, but you weren't in a disguise. But Mitt Romney, he has an alter ego that he uses on social media, Pierre Delecto. He wears hats and tries to disguise himself when he's in public. Do you think that's because they're just simply not proud of what they stand for?
I think deep inside everyone is an ember of truth, logic, and common sense. And when you are violating that pulse of decency and honesty, you are inside ashamed of yourself, and rightly so. Mitch McConnell should be ashamed of himself. Mitt Romney should be ashamed of himself. Joe Biden is too brain dead to be ashamed of himself, but he should be. Look how he failed to raise his son Hunter into this Cretan, this feeble, this nasty, criminal, antisocial, psycho nut job. So those who violate this sense of decency with their fellow man, especially when they supposedly represent the U.S. Constitution and we the people, they should be ashamed of themselves. But I think, Keith, we the people should be even more ashamed of ourselves for letting these scam artists pull the wool over our eyes and still get enough votes to maintain their blood-sucking tax gouging. So wake up, America. Join me at hunternation.org and huntthevote.org. We're circling the conservative wagons. We have got to take this country back from these lying, scamming, deceitful, oath-violating scam artists now more than ever.
You know what, Ted? People are going to say you were kind of harsh on Mitt Romney today. How about you and I just throw an open invitation out there? I know you and I both know some people that know Mitt Romney. Let's invite him on the Nightly Nuge. Let's hear why he voted to impeach the president. Let's hear why he constantly is negative President Trump, pro this Democrat agenda. Give him equal opportunity. And by the same token, maybe we really try hard as we approach the elections in 2022 to bring guys like maybe Herschel Walker, who's running in Georgia for Senate, Dr. Oz back on, Chris Kobach back on, and really an open invitation to all you politicians out there. You want to come on to the show and talk issues with Ted Nugent? Here's your invitation. We'd love to have you.
These guys are scared to death of me. They will not debate me because they've seen what I've done to people who come on and play devil's advocate in a debate with Ted Nugent. Because if you're going to counter what Ted Nugent says, then you are the devil's advocate, because I stand on the side of good. I'm Michael the Archangel with a Glock. You are the devil's advocate, because if you're against the things I stand for, you're against good, which makes you bad.
Tomorrow night, we're going to talk music. But Ted, I also want to talk about a celebrity, actually a couple people that have recently been in some accidents because of alcohol. We're going to talk about Anne Hesh. And of course, I think we ought to go back and visit Mr. Nancy Pelosi as well. Come back tomorrow night for a Friday night free for all. No fake news here. It's the Nightly Nooch.
Guaranteed.